Continuing with the identity configuration, click Cardholders. To create a new cardholder, click Add. Similar to creating a new user, you begin the configuration of a new cardholder by entering the first name, last name, and preferred name for this individual. These fields are all required. If desired, you can also enter a middle name. For this example, we will use Jane A. Doe as our new cardholder, with a preferred name of Jane. While it is not required, you can also select a prefix and/or suffix for this new cardholder. For Jane Doe, we will assign a prefix of Mrs. and a suffix of PhD. Click the arrow next to the prefix drop-down list to begin. Next, click the arrow next to the drop-down list to assign a suffix. Moving on, you will need to enter a unique cardholder ID or employee number. This field is required and cannot be duplicated or left blank. For this example, we will use a cardholder ID number of 5432. The cardholder status field allows you to change the status of a cardholder, as required. This can be useful for temporarily suspending a card, or deactivating it when an employee leaves the company for an extended period of time. To view the available options, click the arrow next to the drop-down list. The available options for cardholder status include inactive, active, terminated, leave of absence, PTO, or paid time off, pending hire, suspended, and retired. For this new cardholder, we will select active, to ensure that the user's card is active upon completion and printing of their badge. When configuring a cardholder, you also have the option of specifying an HR cardholder type, or category. To do so, click the arrow next to the drop-down list. The available options for the HR cardholder type include employee, contractor, intern, temporary, and student. For this new cardholder, we will select employee. Optionally, there are several cardholder vehicle information fields that can be completed on the general configuration page. If desired, enter the cardholder vehicle type, color, and license plate. The next step in configuring a new cardholder is to enter their unique credentials. To begin, click the Credentials tab. The Credentials tab of the cardholder's configuration contains parameters for the security credentials and other details required for printing badges assigned to this cardholder. If PINs are being used in your system, you will need to enter a 1 to 5-digit number that cardholders will use when accessing doors that use a keypad. For this example, we will use 1234. Moving on, we need to add one or more cards or credentials for this cardholder. To begin, click the plus sign below the cards list. Once you have clicked Add, the details for the associated or selected card will become available in the card details area, as shown. Enter the internal proximity number of the card. You can enter this number manually, or by swiping the card through an OmniKey reader for automatic entry. Next, you need to enter the embossed number. This is the number that will be printed on the outside of the card. Note, the embossed number may or may not match the internal card number. Continuing with the cardholder credential configuration, click the arrow next to the drop-down list for the badge profile name. From the list, select the badge profile upon which to base cards for this cardholder. At least one badge profile must exist and be selected in these cardholder screens before any card can be created or edited. Select the desired badge profile to continue. The card status field defines the status of this individual card, and not the card holder. For example, active, inactive, lost, etc. When you set this value to active, the card can be used to open doors according to the access level that has been assigned. All other designations disable the card. Select active for this example. The activation and deactivation dates are set automatically, but can be changed on a per card holder basis. The activation date defaults to the date the card holder credential was created. The deactivation date is determined by the default deactivation that has been specified in the badge profile that has been selected. In this case, 10 years, which is what we set previously in the badge profile portion of this training series. To change the default deactivation for this cardholder, you simply click on the calendar icon beside the appropriate field. Use the left or right arrows at the top of the calendar to adjust the month of expiration. The final step for configuring a cardholder credential is the addition of a photo. Click Import Photo to open a file browser and locate a JPEG photo of this cardholder. When the file uploader appears, click Browse. Browse to the folder where your photos are saved. Select the correct image for this cardholder. Click Open. Click Upload. Notice that the cardholder's photo is now visible on the Credential tab. Now that we have added a card, or credential, we now have the option to print a badge. Click Print Badge to continue. A preview of the badge will appear. You can drag the border around the photo to adjust if necessary. Once you have verified the other information to be printed, click Print to continue. Note, you must have already installed a card printer with the appropriate drivers for your computer to complete this step. After printing, you will be returned to the cardholder configuration screen. Click the Access Levels tab to continue. Upon accessing the Access Levels tab of the cardholder's configuration, you will see a list of configured access levels on the left. These are all the access levels that have been configured in the system. To assign an access level to this cardholder, you need to select the appropriate access level from the list. Once you have selected the correct access level, you click the right arrow to assign this level to this cardholder, and therefore move it to the column on the right. To assign all access levels to this cardholder, you simply click the double arrows. For removing access levels, you can remove all by using the double left arrows, or remove individual access levels by clicking the single left arrow at the bottom. This completes the configuration of access levels. Click the Contacts tab to continue. The Contacts tab of the cardholder configuration provides a place to store the contact information for the individual cardholder. The type of information that can be stored includes email addresses, phone numbers, and SMS numbers for sending text messages to this cardholder. To add a new email address for this cardholder, click the plus sign next to email address. Click the arrow next to Work to define whether this email address is a home or work address. Enter the cardholder's email address. When finished with the email address, click Edit to save. Follow the same process to add phone numbers and SMS information for this cardholder. If you need to enter additional email addresses, simply click the plus sign again. Otherwise, click the plus sign next to the phone number or SMS fields to add the cardholder's contact information. Once all contact information has been added, click the Organizational tab to continue. The Organizational tab contains information pertaining to this cardholder's position in the organization. Some of these parameters are used to populate the operations cardholder screen for the selected cardholder. The organizational information stored for individual cardholders is optional but includes location, department, supervisor, and title. It is recommended that you use these fields to track the organization and location information for your cardholders. Enter the information in the fields provided to continue. When all information has been entered, click the User Define tab to move on. You should recall that all of the fields defined on this page were created or customized when we reviewed the Cardholder User Defined Fields section of this training. If user-defined fields have been created, the information should be entered for complete record keeping. When all fields have been completed, click on the Options tab. The Options tab includes miscellaneous configuration options. The ADA, or American Disabilities Act checkbox is used to override a door held open or strike time for cardholders requiring additional time to enter or exit an access control door. Typically these are cardholders with disabilities or those working in areas like the loading dock or mail room where additional time is often needed for loading and unloading materials or packages. If checked, this box enables the extended door held open and extended strike times for this cardholder. The defaults for these timers are set in the controller's general parameters. Enable ADA for this user. Trace, if enabled, tracks all access attempts for this cardholder. Both successful and failed access attempts will be tagged and logged. Check the box to enable Trace for this cardholder. Finally, you have an optional notes section that can be used for any additional information that you need to record for this cardholder. If necessary, enter your information in the notes section. When finished, click Save to complete the cardholder configuration. Your new cardholder will now be visible in the configured list. To create additional users, click Add and follow the same steps we just completed. To remove a user, select the user from the list, and click Delete. This concludes the review of the cardholders and the identity section of configuration. Please return to the NLSS Training Center to review other tutorials on the use and configuration of the NLSS Gateways and Unified Security Suite.